Did you know that there are living beings with low expression of this molecule, which makes them develop much more muscle mass? Stay until the end of this video, and I will tell you what that molecule is and how some scientific studies have shown that there are foods or supplements that can reduce or block it. In 1997, while researching the TGF-beta superfamily of proteins, Dr. A.C. McFerrin identified the GDF8 gene, and after other studies, she discovered that animals that lacked this gene were significantly larger than animals wild type, and showed a large and widespread increase in skeletal muscle mass. The individual muscles of these animals without this gene weighed 2 to 3 times more than those of wild-type animals, and the increase in mass appears to be the result of a combination of hypertrophy and hyperplasia of the muscle cells. That is, the muscle fibers of these animals were not only larger, but the number of muscle fibers was also greater. This event led to the discovery of the protein myostatin, which is the product of the GDF8 gene, and doctors came to the conclusion that the protein myostatin is responsible for limiting muscle growth. This demonstrated that mutations in the GDF8 gene would result in an increase in muscle mass and generated interest in research related to athletic performance and possible therapeutic applications. Now you may be wondering, is there a way to block the expression of this gene and its protein product called myostatin? Research on animals showed that yes, it can be done. These scientific studies arose from the identification of this gene, and currently different substances continue to be investigated, such as peptides, neutralizing antibodies and gene therapies to try to reduce myostatin and thus combat diseases or problems that cause muscle weakening, but great. Some of them presented side effects and were left aside due to the problems they could cause. So the other question we can ask ourselves is there any natural food or supplement without negative side effects that can act by reducing the amount of myostatin? And the answer is yes. Several studies have shown that the consumption of epicatechins, a flavonoid present in various foods, increases the levels of follistatin, which is a protein with the ability to inhibit myostatin. For example, a study in mice showed that aging causes an 18% increase in myostatin and a 30% decrease in follistatin levels. In young and old mice, epicatechin treatment significantly decreased myostatin levels by 15% to 21%, while follistatin increased up to 56% in old muscle. Of particular interest is that the myostatin levels of the old treated mice were similar to those of the young untreated animals. Another study, but this time in humans, demonstrated the same thing. Treatment for 7 days with epicatechins produced an increase in plasma levels of follistatin. Therefore, by consuming a good daily amount of this flavonol called epicatechin, we can reduce myostatin and thus help increase our muscle mass. Determining how much reducing myostatin will help us in our muscular progress depends on several factors that are difficult to determine at the moment, but whether it is 5%, 10%, or 20%, we will be adding another way to achieve our goal of developing our muscles. It was also shown that animals and subjects that practiced physical activity had a higher level of follistatin and a lower level of myostatin. This is another good argument for training. But do you want to know which foods contain the most epicatechins? Below I will tell you 6 foods ordered from least to greatest that have epicatechins. Let us begin. But wait a minute, are you subscribed to my channel? If you haven't done it yet, you can do it. It's free and you can watch videos with a lot of information like this one, and would you help me so I can continue doing them? Okay, now let's see what are some foods with epicatechin. 1. Red wine. Contain about 1.9 milligrams to 7.1 milligrams of epicatechin per 100 milliliters. 2. Apples. Contain about 2.4 milligrams to 5.7 milligrams of epicatechin per 100 grams. 3. Berries. Contain about 10 milligrams to 20 milligrams of epicatechin per 100 grams. 4. Green tea. About 80 milligrams to 100 milligrams of epicatechin per 100 grams. 5 grapes. About 160 milligrams to 180 milligrams of epicatechin per 100 grams. And the food that has the greatest amount of epicatechins is cocoa, with around 200 milligrams to 250 milligrams of epicatechin per 100 grams. But many of these foods you may not consume, or you simply do not believe that you will be able to consume them daily, in the necessary dose to achieve the effects we are looking for. So that is where the idea of consuming supplements arises, which will ensure that we consume the necessary milligrams of epicatechin in an easy and fast way with just 1 or 2 tablets a day. And that in addition to being beneficial for our health, will also help us achieve our goal of increasing our muscle mass, reducing myostatin. And to save you work, I have looked for the best supplements with epicatechins for you, and I have left you the links in the description so you can get them with a 5% discount or more. Remember that by consuming a supplement with epicatechins, you do so in a much more efficient way, since the supplements contain a large number of milligrams of epicatechins per tablet. Okay friends, that's all for today.